Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Parade Ring Centre here at Turffontein. You will recall the very famous expression by Martin Luther King, "I have a dream." That certainly has been my dream, to be in a fortunate position to have Mr. Larry King live with us here at Turffontein. Larry, first of all, great to have you at Turffontein.
Wonderful to be here, Andy. I've had a great week here in South Africa. The Investec people asked me to come out. It's my first trip to this beautiful country, and we've been doing speeches all over and go back home to the States tomorrow evening. But I had to go racing because it's one of my favorite sports in America. I go a lot. I'm a fan, been a fan since I was a kid.
Well, this is obviously leisure time utilization for you. There's no business here, but a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment, and great people to be with.
Oh, yeah, well, the Cantor, who's better than him, and Sam, and, you know, it's nice to go with. I enjoy the company. I tell you something, Andy, I have been so impressed with the people in South Africa, the verve of the people, and the kindness and the gentility. I was amazed. We've been all over. I mean, I've been in Durban, and I've been in Cape Town and speaking to various different people invited by Investec, and I can't believe it. Yesterday I spent an hour with President Mandela, which was a great thrill, and he's going to be on Larry King Live June 1st when we celebrate the 15th year of our program. And then the other day I'm at lunch in Cape Town, and FW de Klerk comes over and says hello. It's also weird to be recognized all over. I still pinch myself every day. And I'm seen all around the world, so when I go out, like, people say, "Oh, hello, Larry," it still flips me.
When you take a look at South Africa and its horse racing scenario, you're obviously very passionate about the game. I recall a story on John Burke's show where you allegedly walked into a betting shop just 8 days after quintuple bypass.
Well, it's a true story. I had quintuple bypass surgery. I got out of I had the surgery on December 1st of 1987. On December 8th, I was out. And I had a 40-block walk in New York, and I wanted to get the walk and get the exercise, and I was walking along, and there was the OTB, off-track betting parlor, and they're racing at Aqueduct. And I walked in, and it had been in all the papers that I'd had the heart surgery and stories of my health. And a man, one of the punters, comes running up, it's crowded. He says, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "I'm feeling better." And he goes, "Who do you like?" Immediately forgets the heart, and right away we go back to horse racing, and I knew I was home again.
Larry, 35,000 plus interviews down the line. Obviously your enthusiasm, your commitment, which evidently started back as far as when you were 6 years old, still on fire?
Yeah, I can't explain that, why I have not gotten jaded. But I'm just as excited about Monday night show as I was about the last show I did. I've had that since the first day I went on the air. I love asking questions. I love meeting people. I've had a 43-year career, broadcast in 6 decades. I'm 66 years old. I feel like I'm 19. I can't believe it all. But yes, I have not lost that verve that I had when I was 5, 6 years old, and I used to be in my little room with my brother and look up at the radio, and I wanted to be on the radio. I mean, I was 15 and television came along, and I wanted to be on television. I'm living out a dream. You're right. You began by saying I have a dream. I had a dream. It came true.
Larry, as we were discussing, the passion of horse racing is a very, very big part of your life.
Yeah, I got into it very early as a fan. I was, when I went down to Miami, where I broke in, and Miami is a very big horse racing country in the United States. We have 3 major tracks, and Florida breeding is very important. And I was doing interviews, and I interviewed Bill Hartack one day, who was a great American jockey in the 50s and 60s. He won 5 Kentucky Derbies and 4-time national champions in the Hall of Fame. He rode over here. I don't know if he rode South Africa. He rode England, rode Hong Kong. And I became friendly with him, so I started going to track with him. And I got intrigued with every aspect of it. It's like a traveling circus, racetracks. The people are fascinating. The stories are endless. The interviews are terrific. I think jockeys are the best athletes in the world. I think they don't get credit for what they have to do. The more I went, the more I liked it. And then I like going out in the morning and having breakfast in the stable area and watching horses work out. And the chance now to visit a track where they're running the wrong way. See, I watch the races here, they're running the wrong way.
Left-handed, yes.
It looks weird. You know, we run the way you're supposed to run, and counterclockwise. But we, of course, have Trevor Denman as a gift to the United States. He's probably now our finest announcer, and he came from South Africa. But it's for the lure of the sport. It always had a special appeal to me. And of course, there's nothing like winning.
Is there something unique about the horse racing fraternity? I mean, you've interviewed, as we've understood, in excess of 35,000 people.
The horse racing fraternity is unusual in that it has many aspects. It has the owner, who is a unique kind of breed from the trainer, who is a unique kind of breed from the officials, the stewards, who is very unique from the jockeys. They're all in this world together. They're very unique from each other. They're very interesting to talk to. The trainer, because he works 7 days a week, no matter how successful he is, he could be Wayne Lucas or at the bottom of the barn. They're all there at 4 in the morning. They work Sundays, and they live with their horses and die with their horses. The game will break your heart. Jockeys are in that unusual position of putting their life on the line 8 or 9 or 10 times a day, sitting there at 117 pounds and taking 1,600 pounds under you and moving through the whole. Eddie Arcaro told me once that after he stopped riding, when he'd watch races, he would say to himself, how did I ever do that? How did I ever come through on the turn and take a horse, the horse are angling in toward the rail, and make that move? How did I ever do that? Why did I not have fear? So they have fascination to me. Stewards, the people who judge the game, veterinarians, and of course, it's the only sport in which the principal, the major figure, cannot be interviewed. The horse. We have never interviewed a horse. Therefore, everybody who's an expert on a horse is doing it all on a guess. In other words, we can tell you, this horse, we say, here's a statement. The horse likes the mud. Do you really believe a horse likes mud? We've never interviewed. So we're all making educated guesses about our horses. You know, you can't change a horse. If a horse is a sprinter, you can't make him come from behind. How do you know?
100%. Larry, our facilities compared to that which you are used to in America?
I like this facility, but America has flowers and more grandeur. America, this is very quaint to me. I have a feeling here like I'm at Saratoga, racing of 100 years ago. I like it. It's very nice feeling. The gathering, the crowds are close into the paddocks. America is very big on marble and brass and fancy. It's a show. Our tracks, the big ones, the Santa Anita's, Hollywood Park, they're putting on show places. And of course, they have major purses. I mean, it's nice. You're talking apples and oranges. But I like it here. I've never seen anything like bookmakers. We don't have bookmakers standing on the track. You go up to the tote only and bet into the tote, and that's the story. We have off-track betting now, and that's the biggest thing in the United States now, is off-track betting. And now we have channels, cable channels, where you can sit at home and bet races all day long with accounts and not have to go. So attendance is way off at most tracks. For example, New York, our biggest city, Aqueduct, they'll draw 4,000 people a day, maybe 8,000 on Sunday and Saturday, but they will bet 5 million a day, 8 million on Saturday, Sunday, and all that is off track.
Larry, a hero. Secretariat, no doubt, in my mind, the greatest horse that graced the American turf in the 70s and 80s, and we've just had a very sad tragedy in South Africa with Horse Chestnut.
Horse Chestnut, welcome to the United States. He's in front by 4. Rock and Roll is left in his wake. I say Pete might get second. Here is Horse Chestnut.
Did he make any impression from your perspective?
There was a lot of talk about him all over the United States, that he was a comer. You know, this is, you mentioned at the beginning, I have a dream. Well, that's what this game's all about. It's the dream of the owner and the jockey and the trainer. All this is dreams of having that one bet in a million, a champion, right? And when a champion goes down, it's very sad, and they're running on such thin little legs, you wonder how they last at all. I think Horse Chestnut would have been a great one. Secretary was, of course, dominant, but he was not my favorite horse. Northern Dancer was my favorite horse. He was small, he was gutsy. He won every race he ran except the last one, the Belmont, which he ran on 3 legs. They found out he had a broken leg, and he ran 1.5 miles on 3 legs and finished second. So I like that gameness. You know, we get attracted to our horses, and Northern Dancer was my favorite. Of course, I mean, Secretary was obviously the best, and Dr. Fega the fastest. But I like that little gumption extra that Northern Dancer had. He was trained by Horatio Luro, who was a great old Spanish gentleman with a long mustache that came around the ears. He was special to watch.
Larry, it has been an absolute delight. It's one interview that I would hope would never end, but unfortunately it is time to say goodbye. We thank you for coming to the track.
Andy, my pleasure.
It's been a great honor.
I've had a great time here in South Africa, and I'm coming back next February with the whole family for a pure holiday.
All 6 of them?
I'll be here. Don't cut it out, Andy.
Thanks very much for joining us here at Turffontein. We have the horses in the parade ring for the third of the afternoon.
Give me a winner, Randy.
Give you a winner. I'm under pressure to give Larry a winner. Jetmaster. How about Jetmaster? It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Give me now the third race. Now, this is what counts. What counts?
Spanish Harlem. I'm going to go with Spanish Harlem, number 14.
Spanish Harlem in front by a length and a half. And Spanish Harlem moving like a Ferrari at Kyalami. They won't catch this one, even if they call the army. Jetmaster clear as they come past the 200 and he's gated 3 lengths clear of General Franco's running on well with Petit Arbad and Clifton King. But Jetmaster is simply pulverizing them to win it by 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, you might never see this horse in this country again. He is a true champion. In fact, he is a true legend as we salute Horse Chestnut.